Today I got an interesting story from Democratic governor candidate Stacey Abrams. Now we understand she ran last year for the governor of Georgia, almost won, she lost, but now the former House Minority Leader believes that in her gubernatorial election in November, that she has an actual chance to win the state of Georgia. And as we know, Georgia did something that was really unique in last presidential campaign. It turned blue from red. And also with a lot of the things going on in the state, especially in your major cities, you're seeing a lot more immigrants coming into the cities. You're seeing a lot more liberal things going on. We all know what goes down in big cities like Atlanta, right? So now what we're seeing is Stacey Abrams making a call for the black vote. Now, the black vote in Georgia, in my honest opinion, I believe in these big cities, like, cities like Detroit, Texas, Harris County, places like that. These are the cities that really turn, in my opinion, the election towards Biden from Trump. Okay. So she's making a plea now. If black men vote for me, I will win Georgia. Okay. Now, Brian Kemp has a 5-point lead over her. Okay. And she has 90% of the black female vote, but 80% of the black male vote, with another 10% undecided. Okay. Now, some of those black men are starting to turn, in my honest opinion, towards the right. Okay, going red. So now, the issue is for this governor, who we know that she's an extreme feminist. I'm not talking about that. We'll leave that alone. Here's the question. You have black men, many of them are going to vote. Some won't even show up. You're saying if black men vote for me, I can win the election. The question is, why should they vote for you? What are the intangibles? Or what is something that are tangibles, right? That you want to give to black men in the state of Georgia? What is the agenda that you feel that your black male constituents will benefit from by asking for their vote? The only reason why you're asking for their vote is because you need them now. You didn't care. Everything that you see from Stacey Abrams, I believe, in the last political campaign, it was a lot of stuff from what I saw, and I'm not an expert. From what I saw, it was a big immigration push, making certain cities like immigrant zones for people. In other words, that's another trick, trying to get more immigrants to become citizens and then become for the left, right? Become Democrat. Obviously, there was some big pushes for the LGBTQ community there, and black men again were left out in the cold. But now that you need these black men, you're saying if black men vote for me, I'll win the election. This is the problem in the black community when it comes to black men and when it comes to black women. We're seeing it in the political construct right now. But what are the problems that we're seeing? If black men do X, Y, and Z for me, I will be protected. If black men do this, I will have this. If black men would do this, I would have a husband. And they expect to have it without doing anything back for the people that you want to help. That's the problem. You want black men to do something for you, and you don't even believe you need to offer any value to them. Now, here's the difference with black women. Black women are intelligent enough that if you say you want them to do something for you, black women are smart enough to say, what are you doing for me? The LGBTQ community is smart enough to say that. The Caucasian community is smart enough to say that. But now, black men should just be talked down to. You guys are not even human enough for me to give you anything. If you guys will do this for me, I will win. In other words, get to the fucking polls, go vote me in, and do what you're supposed to do. That's the attitude towards black men from the black community. And let me tell you whose fault it is. Partly, it is our fault. Black men want to be upset about how people treat us, when there is nothing that black men are trying to do to combat this. We don't play the game politically, so nobody comes and shows up. We have taught these people, especially in political campaigns, how we should be viewed. And we want to catch an attitude for it, but partly it is us to be blamed. We are a voting bloc, right? But that we should be talked to as people who need to be labored for. The black community needs to labor for its men. It needs to compete for its men. Political parties want to compete for black women because they actually show up as a voting bloc. But for black men who are going to get nothing from Democrats, they're going to stay at home or they're going to go to the left, to the right. And you're seeing many more black men go big red like me. I'm a Republican, registered. Okay. I just don't like what the Democrats have to offer. I don't think they have anything to offer. So I always vote red for the most part, unless a candidate I really feel, or he's an independent or he's a Democrat, I really feel like the agenda can be carried out that I can agree with. I'm not voting for Democrats. That's a personal decision. But even if you're not a Democrat or not, you need to compete for your constituency. You black men, what they're saying, you're nothing to be competed for. Why do we care? And that is a problem. Black men have to understand that you can't complain about the fact that black women don't want to compete for you as a group of men, or political people don't want to compete for you as a group of men, because you're not giving these people a reason why they should. Stop accepting less. You need to get involved politically, economically, right? And it takes, like David Kirsten said, it takes the intellectual heavy lifting. Is it easy? No. You're dealing with black men who have never been in a community, have never been in a male-led community, and many of them have been thinking like independent people, and some of them are not mature. But that's not anybody's fault. The world is not going to look at it, well, these guys grew up in dysfunctional environments, and they're not going to look at that. Nobody cares because you're a man, right? You're supposed to be able to overcome all of those things at the end. That's the issue. So now, here's what needs to happen. Black men in each city need to come together. I don't care if it's 5 or 10. I don't even care if it's any political ties at all. But you need to make people compete for the black male vote. That's why black men in business is important. We need more successful African-American men in every city, in every sector, in the healthcare sector, in transportation. We need it in agriculture. We need it in technology. We need it in real estate. We need more black men connecting, exchanging business. I don't care if you're African American. I don't care if you're Nigerian American. I don't give a fuck if you're Jamaican American. I don't care what it is, because you're going to be looked at politically as the same block as the same. So that is why you need to do these things. You need to come to the table with something and make these people compete for you. You want women to compete for you, but you're not showing up to the door politically or economically as a group. You need to show up in the industries. I don't even care if it's little money at first. Who gives a shit? You need to be there. You need to get active so people don't talk down to you like your little boys and you get upset about it. Because I already know people like Tiesan Johnson are not going to appreciate this, and you're going to see him make a video and he will be right. But that is just, we got to also talk to the fact that instead of, when our Dr. Tiesan Johnson people speak up for him, we have to give him something to work with. Black men were not giving a lot of our guys, the Dr. Ronald Neals, the Dr. Tiesan Johnson, we're not giving them enough to work with to speak on our behalf. And that fundamentally is our issue. Undergirded in that, that's another Tiesan Johnson word, undergirded in our buffoonery and lack of productivity in these things remains our lack of resilience to combat how people talk to us in the public stage. And it's unfair. You will never hear somebody says, if white men will vote for me, I can win. White men will not accept that. So therefore we can't accept it. And we need to teach Stacey Abrams a lesson and anybody else, whether it's political or a relationship, that compete for your constituencies that you want. And that's the problem that she's the most at fault at. I don't care what problems black men are having. Stop requiring somebody votes for you for nothing because they're black. Do something. Add value to their lives. Or shut up. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again. Another episode here, guys. We're out. Peace.